Super exciting day. Today, we're really excited to announce the launch of Shoots. I'm going to show you a few different examples of how Shoots works. But Shoots is essentially a photography studio within Cuttable. So it takes all of your products and will turn them into new lifestyle, UGC product images. And we're going to run through how that works. Anytime a new feature comes out in Cuttable, we're just going to mark it as labs. It's a way of us just saying there's still things that might be happening with it. We're still testing. And we're really looking for feedback on this as well. So we really want to hear from you how your experience goes. I think you're going to have fun playing around with it. So if you come into your dashboard, you'll see here, you've got a section called AI tools. And the first one is Shoots. So we're looking at, they are a source brand out of the States, which we're just going to use as basically as an example. But really how Shoots works, if I hit new shoot here, what you can basically do is you can create ad-ready product photography and lifestyle imagery. So you can essentially, similar to Open Brief, you can brief it on anything you want. There's a whole bunch of example prompts here. So for example, if you want to turn an existing product into more of just that product focus, lifestyle and context, you can do retail display, more polished work. And then also there's user-generated style prompts. And these are all just examples, but you can essentially hit any of these. Let's just go with showcase the ingredients that make this product special. You can choose any product that you want to use. You can also add reference images, external that you want to recreate. Really, all you do is hit create shoot. This is going to showcase the ingredients in the miso mayo product for the AO. So I'm going to let this one run out because I think it's a good one to have a test of. Takes probably about, the moment it's about 2 minutes to create essentially 4 different images. And whilst I'm waiting, I'll show you some examples we've done just beforehand. So as an example, here is, we gave this brief of put these in an Aussie summer Christmas lunch scene on a table with other food. So you can see here, basically we've built Shoots to essentially be a bit of like a creative director as well. So we will talk back in your brand language. It'll understand your brand language. And it will take the source image. So this was just using the bottles themselves. It's taken it and placed it into, so the 3 bottles of the original source images, and then it's essentially generated these 3 images from scratch. Just one example here, another here, and another there. And then you can start to play around with it. So we've added another brief thing. The foods need to suit the sauces better, like sandwich sliders, potato chips, maybe some fried chicken. It's taken that to the next step and gone, and again, in a couple of minutes generated a little double stacked hamburger there. And then again, you can continue to brief it, a little too unhealthy. So we've then given like a reference of this image. So you can drag a reference image in and then start to see it's taken this reference image, which I've dragged in from my desktop. You can use it from your own brand or any other source imagery you see. And then it's done more in that deli space. So again, it starts to, so one thing what we're seeing so far is when it's right at the start, it really nails all of the exact details on the packaging. What we're seeing so far, and this is a big difference in terms the models that we're using, is the further you go down and start to prompt, you can sometimes start to see the label being shifted a little bit. And what we're finding is like almost like the closer the prompt is to the top, the more accurate the label is. And that's something that we're just keeping an eye on at the moment. So another example of what you can do is, this is Cloud, Khloe Kardashian's popcorn brand. So a big thing about Shoots is it understands your audiences. So you can come in here and go, I've given a prompt of, based on our audiences, what images should we create? And so almost like the creative director within Shoots will go, great question. Based on the target audiences that it knows from your brand strategy, here are some image concepts. So these are the 5 audiences that are listed in the brand strat for Cloud: protein-seeking gym goers, the time-pressed parents, Gen Z snack explorers. So it's giving you some thoughts on how you could potentially bring to life each of those audiences from an image point of view. So I've gone, with myself, given I've got 2 daughters, I feel like I'm very much the time-pressed parent. I thought, give me an example of packing the lunchbox. Okay, use that one. And then it's starting to come back again, just using the original. This is just the packaging. I've only given it the packaging. And it starts to give me some different examples of how I could bring that to life. And I kind of said, you know, I actually want to see the popcorn as well. Please show the popcorn. So it's going, looking at what has within the packaging and showing some examples there, which is pretty awesome. I love that one because it's actually opened up the package and has the popcorn kind of exploding out. If you want to edit something, so say, for example, I'm like, you know what? I really like this one, this image here, and I want to edit that. You can actually double down on a brief. So I really like this image, but can you give me some more options with different backgrounds? Or I can, I can say remove the background. I can say change that or take that into a completely different scenario, but you can actually prompt an individual edit image at a time. So I think one thing really interesting here is you can go and create. So the brief for this one was create a detailed shot featuring the materials and components and you can tag the product. So in the coffee and molasses barbecue sauce. So this is one of the pre-canned prompts that we've just used. And I really love this because it's gone and thought about, given that we know about the product information. So we know, again, features, we have an idea around benefits, we have an idea around all the product imagery that's within there as well, based off what Cuttable pulls in. This has gone and looked at the breakdown and given you a few examples of the coffee, molasses, honey that some all sits within. So I think I just made up that it has honey in it, but coffee and molasses. Love the luxe minimalist pour. Can we put it in a farm environment, showcasing the authentic natural origin of the ingredients? So then it's starting to take it into some different spaces as well, which I think is really amazing. And it picks up, you can see this shot is outside. So it's actually adding all of the light reflection details to the product. You can see here, even you see that reflection on the jar. So this one's half full. So it's showing that off on the sides as well. But then if you go to a darker image, again, it looks like it's lit from the right, darker on the left. So it really does pick up those individual details. So once you're happy, I think one thing, a photo shoot, like when you're doing a real life photo shoot, you can basically come in here and you can add these to selects. So you're not going to be happy with every image that Shoots creates for you. That's natural. But each time you can go, yeah, I love that one. I'm adding that to the selects. And over on this right-hand side, you'll be able to see the selects as you go through. So if you want to save those down, all I need to do is hit save to select album. And you can either create a new album in your album section, or this one, because it's already this Shoots is called Australian Farm to Table Heritage. It's automatically created an album for me. So you can drop down into any of your existing albums, or you can create a new one. And I think the really amazing thing is we'll also link these to the original product if you want to do that. So then when you're creating product ads in the future, it has that reference there. So I can just hit save to album. What it's doing is Cuttable is analyzing the image like it does with any original image or video that comes into Cuttable. The AI is reading what is happening in the image. So it understands the location, the product that's being used, if there's people in it, their emotions. So it's not necessarily taking a long time to save down. It's just doing the analysis that takes a minute or two for Cuttable to understand. It's done 2, 3, 4. So all assets uploaded and analyzed. So now I'm like, I want to make ads from these assets. So this then comes into open brief. So Cuttable automatically adds the product that you have used and it adds the images. So you'll be able to see those images that are there, and then you can brief your campaign. So an example that we made with AO. So this is all the different images that we made with AO. And then essentially, if I come back into our ads section, we gave this brief saying only use these images, nothing else, to make ads that talk about how if you like sandwiches, you need this sauce. So these are all of the images that Cuttable has created, and it's only using those ones from Shoots. So lots of different examples here. But you can kind of see some of those examples. They've just turned their existing product into all of these new assets, which is absolutely amazing. And I even had some examples yesterday where I wanted to, I think the packing of orders is kind of an interesting thing. And I put in a brief to basically say, the brief was like, you're currently packing a customer's order in a 3PL and you're wearing like a GoPro POV style. And Shoots, the creative director in Shoots told me, hey, I can't actually pack orders for you, but if you want me to create an image, I can. And I I then said, create the image. So sometimes, again, it will get there. It's just like finding the right prompt for it as well. So it's giving me like a whole range of different examples and then shows me the product. Again, that's starting to, you can see that one on the right. It's kind of extending the product slightly, but I gave it some feedback and then it gets better. Same again, and then starting to give me the kind of image that I'm looking for as well. I've just done a version here. It's like, you can tag, if you've got multiple products, you can tag those multiple products as well. Can you create some images which combine, these are 3 different products of, again, I'm just using a pretty simple example of Olipop, which is a soft drink brand out of the States, have them next to each other in a natural environment. So it will take those source images and, then I can prompt it to remove an image, remove a product as well. Another thing just to mention is, so these sections down the bottom where you can choose the products you want to talk about, you can add reference images. There's also a section on the right where you can add, these are overlay friendly because again, we're using the current ads that Cuttable is producing, use text as well. So if you want, you can also add like where you would want clear space to be within the ad. Is it the top third, the middle third, bottom third? You might have a preference for it as a brand where you want the top half to be really clear or the bottom half. So you can actually choose that within the image creation as well. And you can see here, obviously the first section for us is image, but we will be working on video quite soon. So here's an example from Olipop. These are 3 separate products. It's taken some of the, the ingredients and flavors and that type of thing. And again, I could prompt this now and say, hey, remove the classic root beer, just have cola and apple, and it'll do that as well. One thing I do want to mention is, whilst this is in labs, it will be kind of unlimited because we're testing. But given, how these models work, and we are testing lots of different models behind this to constantly bring in, but we will be introducing a credit system where you'll have like an allocation of credits as part of your subscription, where you can create, a whole range of images, and then after that video, and then, within the package. But then, if you hit limits and things like that, you can always add on and top up. We haven't got as far as to working out exactly how that will work just yet, but I do want to mention that, there will be a limits usage with the image creation side of things as well. We'll have more information on that in the new year. Just to recap, it's shoots, which is in this left-hand side. You just hit new shoot to start off with. There's templates that you can use from a prompt point of view, but you enter your prompt in. You can add products, references, there's your options, and then you choose your selects, and then you can create ads from that. So, but yeah, we're really looking forward to having you play around and hearing your initial, pretty pumped about this. It's obviously an ever evolving space, and we are constantly looking at, the best models to bring in, how we want to do that. And, image is first step, but yeah, we're really excited what's coming next as well. So we are always working on new things. So it's going to be 2026. It's going to be a massive year. We're pumped. And thanks again for putting your faith in the Cuttable team.